Larks. Introducing first at guard, 6'4" sophomore, number 3, Trent Thompson. At guard, 6'2" sophomore, number 10, Brennan Dodge. At forward, 6'6" junior, number 11, Antonio Odom. At forward, 6'9" junior, number 23, Dante Smith. And at guard, 6' sophomore, number 24, Bryson Harris. The head coach of the Larks is Matt Peeberts. And now the home team starting lineup, your Central Methodist Eagles. Introducing first at guard, 6'4" senior from East St. Louis, Illinois, number 1, Tommy Williams. At guard, 6' senior from Mexico, Missouri, number 2, Isaiah Reeves. At forward, 6'6" sophomore from the Bronx, New York, number 4, Tavion Kitty. At forward, 6'7" senior from Paris, France, number 5, Raphael Gay. And at guard, 6'6" senior from Malmo, Sweden, number 8, Tyson O'Kenna. The head coach of your Eagles is Matt Sherman. Assistant coach, Forrest Hicks. Grad assistants, Jared Fisher, Caleb Stevens, and student assistant, Cameron McGee.
Good evening and welcome. Good evening and welcome into Puckett Fieldhouse in Fayette for this non-conference matchup between the Larks of Hesston College and your Central Methodist Eagles. CMU 9-4 on the season, 4-2 in Hart Conference play. They won both of their games in their recent schedule at Mission and at Clark. Hesston still looking for their first win of the season and their first win since moving up from the junior college ranks to the NAIA. Hart Offensive Player of the Week, Raphael Gagan, set to tap it off. CMU in their home gray uniforms, Hesston in the all red. Making the trip from Kansas here to mid-Missouri. Gay to battle with Dante Smith, and CMU has the tap. Isaiah Reeves takes it across the timeline. Him and Gay had a fantastic contest against Clark in a 17-point win. Tommy Williams leaves that 3 short. Gay had 28 points, 12 boards, and made 8 of 11 free throws in that matchup. Isaiah Reeves, 23 points, 6 assists, and he was 6 of 7 from the foul line himself. Good back cut and a find for the Larks. Antonio Odom, the junior from Las Vegas, averaging 9 a contest, gets on the board for the Larks. Williams unable to skip it across, intercepted by Trent Thompson. So Brennan Dodge will swing it around the perimeter over to Harris. Several scratches today for the Hesston roster, with 1 addition as well. Odom pull up, foul line extended, can't get the bounce. Tommy Williams pushes it the other way. In that win at Clark, CMU shot 49% from the field, made 10 threes. And Ogene looks to drain one, it's short. Dodge fires it inside. Harris kicks it back out to Smith as Hesston fires it around the perimeter. And this 3-pointer from deep is good, and Bryson Harris drains one. He's shooting at a blistering 49% clip from distance, having 8 points a game from Stevens, Arkansas. Gay with a nice feed from Davian Giddy puts it in. Again, 28 points in his last 2 performances at 28 and 16 rebounds at Mission in that 91-84 win for CMU on the 6th of this month. As they have bounced back after that brutal second half against Missouri Valley. That three-pointer way off the mark for Brennan Dodge. Reams has to recollect. Finds Giddy. CMU will set up their offense, averaging 84 points a game, second best in the Heart. Raphael Gay muscles inside, and he drew a whistle. And that has been something he has continued to improve on as the year has progressed. Again, 15 free throw attempts against Mission, 11 against Clark. Much better at putting them in against the Pride, as there's a turnover for CMU. He was just 6 of 15 at the foul line against Mission. And as we see the first Eagle get to the foul line, we'll talk more about how that is impacting the Eagles this year as they try to find more consistency. And a moving pick on Hesston. First personal on Trent Thompson. Hesston will bring some three-quarters court pressure. Swing it around to Giddy in the corner, and he drains it. He's shooting at a nice clip from distance, 45%. Smith stopping his tracks, a little pull-up miss, and the rebound to Giddy. Sophomore from the Bronx. Reeves will reverse it around with Raphael Gay looking for the basketball, and Brennan Dodge with an interception, and his layup falls. And a few turnovers has left some frustration for head coach Matt Sherman, and he's taking a timeout with 16-19 remaining in the first half. It's on the floor, so we'll keep it with you here on the Heart Conference Network. Again, the Eagles here in the month of December, 2-1. This is the last game of the calendar year before the Christmas and New Year's break. Find themselves right now still tied for third in the Heart standings. Kind of a disappointing loss to Missouri Valley. Otherwise, they would be tied for second with Missouri Baptist. Graceland has found their stride. They have won 10 in a row and are now 12-2 overall, 6-0 in the Heart. And of course, Missouri Baptist 5-1 in conference play, 10-1 overall, right behind them. And then this collection of teams tied for third is William Penn, Central Methodist, and Park. Of course, CMU fell to Park in an ugly game and then were able to outlast William Penn in that 102-99 final. As the Heart Conference looks to find its equilibrium, another turnover for CMU. Not something that they have generally struggled with this year, but early on tonight, they have been giving away the basketball. That's their fourth. They get it right back, though. And nice feed it into Gay, denied by Smith, and a whistle and a foul. CMU only averaging a little over 12 turnovers a game. So Raphael Gay to the stripe, where he's shooting 55%, averaging over 6 attempts a game. His field goal percentage is at a really good spot. If he could find more success at the free throw line, it just could elevate his game to an All-American level. Austin Prater replaces Giddy. Gay is first in the Heart Conference in field goal percentage, second in rebounds per game, over 8 rebounds a contest. And he drains both there. So we're tied at 7 apiece. A little over 4 minutes into this one from Fayette. Full court pressure for CMU pays off. Tyson Ogene picks it off. Behind the back dribble into the lane, and he draws the whistle. And he's shooting 67% from the stripe. In wins this year, CMU shooting 71% from the foul line. In losses, 55%. A 16 percentage point difference. And as a team, they're shooting just 66.5% at the stripe. That's 13th in the heart. Until Saturday's contest against Clark, it had been 5 straight games for CMU, shooting 67% at the stripe or worse. And that was after they were one of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation last year. And a good start here tonight. Ogene drains both. Interception and a steal, and Tommy Williams finger rolls it off the glass and in. 11-7 lead for Central Methodist as they have reversed the scripts in the turnover department. Now both teams with 4 apiece. CMU has converted these turnovers from Hesston into a 4-point advantage. And that's a whistle and a foul. Kickball violation. Isaiah Reams picks up the personal foul. It's his first personal. There's already 14 fouls on Hesston. The Larks out of the Sunflower State. Pounded dribble, kick back out top. Odom swings to dodge, and the high arcer is drained. Excuse me, Trent Thompson drains it. He's shooting 35% from distance, averaging 11 a game. Reams lost control into the hands of Williams. A couple crossovers in the lane, the floater falls. CMU should be able to do what they want on the offensive end. Hesston allowing 94 points a game, and they're scoring just 71. Dodge drives on Ogene, kicks it back out to Odom. His 3 is good. And Hesston came into the night only shooting 31% from distance as a team, and they're 3 of 4 to start this evening. And we're tied back at 13 apiece. Williams baseline hangs, and he drew a whistle. They've hit the under 15, tied at 13. We'll step aside on the Hart Conference Network.
Before the lights, there's the grind. Every hour, every hit, every moment carved in sweat and sacrifice. Now, it's your stage. From grind to glory, 516 Sports Capital builds the stage for your story.
Tied at 13. 14:03 remaining in the first half. Hesston and CMU tied up. After the foul, 5 team fouls on the Larks. Inbound coming for CMU. That was the second personal on Antonio Odom. Ogene will open, but will leave it off for Isaiah Reams. Get back to Ogene, looking for Gay. Instead, Ogene will step back. Bounce it baseline to Prater for a jam. Ari Jolly moves it to Brennan Dodge. And over to Marcus Golden. Idelma timer for Dodge against Williams. He slips, and Williams is the beneficiary. And a bounce pass to Reams in transition. He left the layup short. Golden up top, and a three. A little bit strong for Devin Lewis. CMU in transition. Reams accelerates and drew the whistle. And they count the bucket as well, and one for Reams. A little bit of continuation there. Marcus Golden, the guilty party. And that'll bring David Gonza into the game. And Bryson Harris returns. Reams averaging 19 points a game, shooting 81% from the foul line, averaging 8 attempts a game. That is second in the heart. But that one dances off for him. Out of bounds off of CMU. And if you look at the Eagles' profile, there's not really too much that stands out as far as anything they do at an elite level, at least nationally. But they are 21st in the nation in free throw attempts a game, 25 and a half. And if they can just raise that team free throw percentage and convert on those opportunities, it can certainly lead to a few more wins. From straight away, Harris short. Tommy Williams accelerates the other way, hands it off. Raphael Gay, we have liftoff. Timeout taken by Matt Hebert. Clear the lane for takeoff as Raphael Gay slams that one home. Another 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it with you. 12:26 remaining in the first half. The Eagles look to close out 2025 with a victory. It's really been offense for CMU. That's been the story of course, whether they've won or lost. In all 4 of their losses, they have been held below 80 points. If they get to that 80-point mark, it's a pretty good chance they're going to win. Turnover in the backcourt. Set up for Ogene. It's denied. Raphael Gay certainly has the size advantage, and Williams feeds it. They bring the double. Gay, just a little too much to handle right now inside for the Offensive Player of the Week. Gay has had 5 double-doubles this year. All 5 of them in the last 6 games. He's had 60, 20-plus point performances as well, but he does pick up a foul there on the reach. He's scoring 19.5 points a contest.
Hesston, number 3, Trent Thompson. Thompson for Jolly.
Thompson returns, replacing Jolly. Reversed over to Harris. Against Gay, he drives. Spins it back out for Gonza. And that's off target. Tommy Williams with a really nice rebound. He races the other direction, hangs, finger roll off the glass. No, Raphael Gay sails in for the second chance opportunity. It's a 10-point lead for Central Methodist. Eagles 8, 9 of 13 from the field. And there's a reaching in a foul outside on Tommy Williams. Their third personal. Or their third team foul, I should say.
Checking for CMU, number 3, Isaiah Bonaparte. And number 11.
Isaiah Bonaparte checks in along with Kevin James.
Number 14,
Henry Snyder is in for Hesston. And with 11:05 remaining in the first half, CMU up by 10. Pull up denied, rejected by Austin Prater from Devin Lewis. Prater in transition, out of control, but a blocking foul on Hesston. Their 7th team foul.
Larks foul charge, number 14, Henry Snyder, his first team.
Snyder picks up the foul.
Prater to the line, to just.
Prater to the stripe where he is looking to improve, just 52% from there. And he leaves the first one short. He's averaging 6 rebounds a game. He started to find his touch from distance once again, shooting 36% from beyond the arc. They want to set for Devin Lewis, and he drives baseline, swings it out. Snyder jump stop, and a nice finish. Beg your pardon, Brennan Dodge with the bucket. 6'2" sophomore from Topeka. Rafael Gay spins baseline and got to his spot. Just a little too quick for Gonza. Really nice footwork and positioning for Rafael Gay. He's up to 12 points. And a whistle on the floor. Kevin James, the guilty party.
Number 11, Kevin James, his first, team's 4th.
4th team foul on the Eagles. Dodge. Looks for help. Finds it in the form of Trent Thompson. Shoulders against James, spins, and got James up in the air and one. Really nice bucket for the sophomore from Oklahoma. And we've hit the under 10 timeout. CMU 26, Hesston 17 on the Hart Conference Network.
For the 45, cuts across midfield, up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle, he's to the 20, to the 10, he is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Still caught down the line, and it's in a line drive right down the line, running catch by Jolly. He'll find Henry, turns, shoots, hits it from the corner, the fading three.
Nine-point lead for CMU. Trent Thompson to the line after the and one opportunity. He's averaging 11 points a game, 6 rebounds a contest. Brennan Dodge is the leading scorer for this team, averaging almost 12, but otherwise they've really been looking for some more weapons on offense. And Thompson can't pay off the free throw. CMU 10 of 15 to start from the field. And Rafael Gay sees the double team. Williams spins, No, tapped. Stays with CMU. 12 points early on for Raphael Gay, game high. He's 5 of 6 from the field with 3 rebounds as well. And Kylan Smith off target from distance. And as we mentioned earlier, Hesston, their first year at the NAIA level, moving up from the junior college ranks as their school starts to offer bachelor degrees. Gay defends Thompson, and he got him up in the air and should have just taken the shot. Instead he traveled. A difficult year for Hesston, of course, as I mentioned, still looking for their first win. They have played a few teams close, 4 single-digit losses, including an overtime loss to Mid-America Christian. Gay in the post, got his miss. A little reverse layup falls. He's up to 14 on the night, 28-17 lead for the Eagles. They lost to Sterling College by just 5, but that was on the 29th of November. Since then, they faced a couple of D2 schools, Wayne State and Nebraska Kearney, and they took their lumps in those 2 games. But certainly a transition year for this program as Dante Smith misses that one. Williams a crossover and a foul. And that is the 8th team foul on the Larks. First personal on Dodge, and Tommy Williams is at the stripe, where he is shooting 65.5%. And Williams misses the front end. Giddy returns to the game. There's some other non-conference action ongoing in the Heart tonight. Mount Mercy at St. Ambrose and Missouri Baptist at Bethel. And then tomorrow night, more non-conference action. In the Heart, no more conference games until January. An interesting matchup, though, between former AMC foes. Columbia will be on the road in St. Louis taking on Missouri Baptist. So Tommy Williams splits his trip, 12-point lead for CMU, 8:05 remaining in this first half. That's a tough pull-up, missed by Smith. Bonaparte off the bounce. Cut off baseline. Smith. CMU down to 5 on the shot clock. Bonaparte. Looks for Giddy. Smith just has to heave it and didn't hit rim. No dribble penetration on that possession and completely stalled the offense. Jolly and Gonzo return for Hesston. Entering this evening, they had 11 players that had played 145 or more minutes this season. They'd certainly spread them out, but not as deep of a roster with all the scratches here this evening. Harris wants Gonza, and they feed it to him against Smith, and pretty good job of Smith holding his ground. See what CMU can do without Isaiah Reams or Raphael Gay on the floor. Certainly, they are looking for a consistent third option. Isaiah Bonaparte with a pretty easy slash to the basket. And a 14-point lead for CMU, their largest of the night. And Matt Hebert calls a timeout. 6:44 remaining in the first half. We'll step aside on the Hart Conference Network.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of support and mentorship. But what truly sets us apart is the heart with which we play. Join us and experience the passion, the drive, and the spirit of champions. That passion and commitment extends off the playing field and into graduation. The Heart of America Athletic Conference, champions in competition, leaders in life.
Point lead for CMU. Dodge up under and finger roll missed. Bonaparte accelerates off the window and one. CMU really missed him and his depth against Missouri Valley. That foul goes against Thompson. 9 team fouls on Hesston. It's the second on Thompson. Bonaparte, 64% at the foul line this year, 4.5 points a game. But his potential is certainly on display when he's able to hit the floor. Poked away by Reams. Bonaparte with the acceleration, feeds it. Prater, and he's tied up with Smith. Possession arrow favors Hesston. Under 6 minutes to play as Hesston is able to get across the timeline. Ryston Harris moves it. Dodge, baseline up, denied. Giddy. Sent it away, but there is a foul. It's against Giddy. So Dodge to the line. Played at Shawnee Heights High School. As Hesston manages this transition. They're in both the NAIA and NCCAA. Matt Hebert in his position as head coach since 2020. And a split trip at the line for Dodge. 16-point lead for CMU. Reams off the window. 4 points for Reams. Skip pass across. Thompson short. And Hesston has cooled off from distance. Whistle and a foul in the backcourt on Harris. After the Larks were 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, they've missed 5 in a row. And now CMU into the bonus. 10 team fouls on Hesston. Nogena to the stripe, where he's shooting 67% from the foul line, averaging 12 points a game. Of course, not afraid to tee it up from distance, shooting 8.5 threes a game. Came over from Canisius, where he played 5 games. Before that, though, he was a standout at Allegheny College of Maryland, where he was a junior college all-star, averaged 20 points a game in his sophomore season and 5.5 rebounds a contest. He shot 39% from distance his freshman year. Or over his career there at Allegheny College of Maryland. Had to deal with an injury to begin this year, but it's good to see him starting to get his feet under him. Harris's three, step back good. At the end of the day for Hesston, if they don't get stops, this one will get out of hand. 17-point lead already for the Eagles, 4:50 remaining in the first half. Reams off the bounce, Bonaparte back to Reams. Skip up top, Ogene fires it to Giddy. Short, leaping rebound, hauled in by Hesston and Antonio Odom. Odom turns the corner, gets Prater, he's fouled and one. Well executed off-ball set, got him open. We put the under 5 timeout, 4:20 remaining in the first half. Eagles up by 15. We'll step aside on the Hart Conference Network.
He's to the 45, cuts across midfield, up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle. He's to the 20, to the 10. He is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Field caught down the line, and it's in a line drive right down the line. Running catch by Jolly. Fields finds Henry, turns, shoots, hits it from the corner. The fading three.
$15-point lead for CMU, 4:20 remaining in the first half over Hesston here in Puckett Fieldhouse. Last game of the calendar year. As the Eagles look to pick up win number 10 tonight. They're 3-2 here at home. And another missed chance for a three-point play, and Giddy did not come down well on his ankle. And you really hope that this is some sort of sprain. Austin Prater replaces him. You really hope right now for Giddy that's just a sprain and he's got plenty of time to recover here over the Christmas break. That's all you can hope for right now. You really do not want to see one of your main starters and rotational pieces pick up an injury in a non-conference game, especially with so much season to go. Eagles have had to deal with the injuries to Tommy Williams, Tyson Ogene. Just want to see this team at full strength. Of course, didn't have Bonaparte against Mo Valley. Jamari Jolly returns Reams, makes the front end. That was the third personal foul on Dante Smith. Smith has 3, Thompson, Dodge, and Odom each have 2. Reams makes it a 17-point lead for the Eagles. Jolly. And over and back for Hesston. 10 turnovers for the Larks. They're being out-rebounded by 10. They came into the night really struggling in the rebounding department, losing it by over 16 a game. Another foul on Hesston, of course, with CMU still in the double bonus. First personal on Harris. That one falls off the rim for O'Guiney. And it appears Davian Giddy is getting taped up, that right ankle. See if maybe he can return to this game. Split trip to the line for CMU. Up by 18, Dodge. Nice feed to Jolly, his layup good off the glass. Raphael Gay back into the game, the skip over to Reeves. Behind the back, O'Guiney pulls up, off front of the iron. A nice box out on the other side by Harris. Odom, offhand, physical, missed it. And Harris in rhythm, off the heel, high rebound, Reeves collects. Gay posting up, Reeves doesn't get it to him. No whistle, no foul, off the window, missed. Thompson, Dodge, Odom, sidestep three, knocks it down. And that pulls the Larks to within 13, 2:20 remaining in the first half. Turnover, and Dodge pays it off. CMU not finishing this half well. After leading as much as by 18. Now just an 11-point advantage, and Williams missed it. Raphael Gay, the rebound. Tapped out of bounds, Hesston possession. Jabari Jolly from Nashville, Tennessee, and Clarksville High School. Gets the ball back. Top of the key against Gay. Crossover. Muscles in. And a late whistle on Raphael Gay. His first personal.
Eagles foul charge to number 5, Raphael Gay. His second, team's 8.
Jolly just shooting 48% from the stripe.
Jolly to the line. 2 shots.
Both teams shooting 50% from the field. The Larks now 1 of 5 from the foul line, shooting 65% as a team. Bonaparte returns, replacing Gay as CMU puts together a smaller lineup. Split trip to the line, 10-point ball game. CMU in front, 41-31, a minute and a half remaining in this first half. Puckett Fieldhouse non-conference action mid-December. Jab step drive, O'Guiney, and one. CMU need a little bit of a jolt in the arm, and that's what O'Guiney delivers. Senior from Malmö, Sweden. So a 13-point lead for Central Methodist. scrambled off the foot of Snyder, gets it back. In the corner of the three, good for Dodge. And he's tied with Odom for a team-high 10. 6-3 made today for Hesston. Williams misses the layup. Jolly across the timeline. Got a 13-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. The drive by Snyder, and he finishes. It's now a single-digit game. A really nice flurry to end the half for Hesston. And just an 8-point advantage now for Central Methodist. Not playing tight enough defense, and they've cooled off on the offensive end a bit. Bonaparte, 5 on the time. Drives, and an offensive foul.
Offensive foul charge, number 3, Isaiah Bonaparte, his first, team's 9th. Checking in
So they'll bring in Trent Thompson. But at Hesston, they're shooting 54% from the field and 6 of 13 from distance. One of their best performances on the offensive end in a half all year. And that's how the first half comes to a conclusion. CMU led by as much as 18. The lead has been cut down to 8. And I'm sure the health of Davian Giddy in the mind of the Eagles, and we'll see what Matt Sherman's squad can put together out of the break. We'll step aside in the Hart Conference Network.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of support and mentorship. But what truly sets us apart is the heart with which we play. Join us and experience the passion, the drive, and the spirit of champions. That passion and commitment extends off the playing field and into graduation. The Heart of America Athletic Conference, champions in competition, leaders in life.
Welcome you back to Puckett Fieldhouse in Fayette. Nice finish of the half for Hesston. And they trail CMU by just 8 after trailing by as much as 18. Both teams shooting 52% from the field, but Hesston 6 of 14 from distance, CMU 1 of 6, but they are 13 of 17 from the foul line. 10 turnovers for Hesston, 8 for CMU. The Eagles win the rebounding battle 20-11, 15 points off of turnovers for the Eagles. Yeah, your game high scorer is Raphael Gay with 14, 6 of 8 from the field, 6 rebounds. Ogene with 8 points, 6 of those from the foul line. And then for Hesston, Brennan Dodge and Antonio Odom, each with 10 apiece. They go right to Raphael Gay, and they find Prater wide open, off target. CMU really needs to find a way to put this game to bed, especially what Missouri Valley did on this floor in the second half to begin this month. As that's over and back again for Hesston tonight. And looking for their first win of the season, 0-15, 0-6 on the road. Ogene's open for the top of the key, and he drains it. Ogene up to 11. He's really started to find his footing in his legs as the season has progressed. We know he can be a sniper of a shooter from beyond the arc. Brennan Dodge lays it up and in. He's starting to put together a pretty nice night. Gonna. Reams behind the back against Thompson and ripped away off of Reams, and it's Hesston possession. 9th turnover of the evening for CMU. So Giddy does not start this second half, but he is still dressed and that ankle taped up, and we'll see if he gets subbed in to give it a go. Hooked away, steal by Ogene as they tried to feed it on the back door. Williams accelerates, and almost a putback attempt for Prater. Whistle and a foul on Thompson. That's his third personal. Dante Smith with 3, Trent Thompson with 3, Snyder, Odom, and Dodge each with 2. Tommy Williams to the stripe. He had 5 points in that first half. We've been talking about consistency tonight, and that's certainly an area where Tommy Williams looks for improvement. Just 33% field goal percentage for him. 22.5% from distance, and tonight he's 2 of 8 from the field, but he's now 4 of 5 from the foul line. That 3 of 4. Foul on Prater, and that sends Odom to the stripe. Second on Prater. Odom, a 6'6" junior from Las Vegas and Legacy High School, shooting 56% from the stripe. Mount Mercy leads St. Ambrose 56-51, 12-16 remaining in that one. As Mount Mercy looks to have a bounce back season. Gay skips it. Ogene leaves room, and it's short. Reams off the window and good after the miss. Reams up to 8 points. Dodge. Defended by Williams, almost stripped away. 5 on the shot clock for Antonio Odom, who pulls up off target. Reams will pull it out and look for Rafael Gay. And a great interception and anticipation from Antonio Odom. And he accelerates the other direction, shoulders in, and puts it in. Odom up to 14 points. Him and Dodge leading the Larks. 9-point lead for CMU. 3 minutes into the second half. Prater bounces it. Gay turns, quick drop step. And they run that off-ball set to perfection. 16 points for Gay. Any sort of stalemate in the half court. It's been a struggle for CMU to feed it inside to Gay. So they have to run something to get him open. Missed layup by Dodge and a steal for Tommy Williams. They want to get to Gay, but right now being denied from that opportunity. Williams dances, stopping his tracks, a little finger roll, no. Can't find his own miss. It's not the possession CMU wanted to have in that moment. But a turnover gives it right back. And that is the 13th turnover for Hesston tonight. Devin Lewis returns for Hesston. Skipping around, Williams from the corner, well off the mark. Gay collects the miss. Reams drives off the window and good. 10 points for Reams, 16 for Gay. 13-point lead for CMU. Backdoor cut, Dodge. Unable to corral that pass from Odom. And the 14th turnover of the night for Hesston. CMU accelerates the other way. The women's team will begin their pair of games in the Daytona Classic tomorrow. And Gay with a really nice roll to the bucket. Face Kansas Wesleyan tomorrow at 10 a.m. and then Georgetown at 12 noon on Thursday. Good feed to Harris. Reams around the horn to Williams. Don't get it to Gay. Williams drives, reverse missed. Reams, good. He's doing his damage in the second chance opportunities. 8 offensive rebounds tonight for CMU. Isaiah Reams up to 10 points, 12 points, 5 rebounds. At the under 15, CMU up by 15, 59-44. We'll step aside on the Art Conference Network.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student-athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of support and mentorship. But what truly sets us apart is the heart with which we play. Join us and experience the passion, the drive, and the spirit of champions. That passion and commitment extends off the playing field and into graduation. The Heart of America Athletic Conference, champions in competition, leaders in life.
Giddy and James return for CMU. Good to see Giddy back on the floor. Under 14 minutes to go. CMU up by 15. Man, that three is drained by Devin Lewis. That cuts the deficit to 12 for Hesston. James caught in the short corner. And Reams off the pick and roll. Swings it back to James, and they go inside to Gay. He's doubled. They fire back to Reams. Around the perimeter, Giddy. Air ball. And saved off of Gay. So Hesston possession down by a dozen. Hesston has one more game before Christmas. They'll be at Friends in Wichita. That three off the mark for the Larks. Reams. Couple crossovers. Baseline bumped. And then they will face Midland before the end of the year on the 30th. Gene, good. Up by 14 CMU. Jolly, the heavy fake. And back out to Smith. He knocks it down. He is shooting 39% from distance this year, the junior from Fort Collins, Colorado. Reams from dip. James with the offensive rebound, and he finishes. Smith open the back door, turnaround, off the mark, contested by Raphael Gay. James able to track down the miss. CMU find a way to extend the lead like they did at one point in the first half. Their largest of the night was 18. They've let their foot off the gas a bit. 7 on the shot clock. James wide open. Good. James averaging 7 points a game, shooting 32% from beyond the arc. That's just the third three made tonight for the Eagles. Line drive three made by Dante Smith. 9th three made by Hesston this evening. They get the points right back. Ogene, spin move. Beautiful footwork from Ogene. He's up to 15 points. Short corner pull up, knocked down by Harris. Both sides finding a little bit of rhythm. 10.5 minutes remaining in this ball game. Ogene, spin move, and he drew the whistle. So for Ogene tonight, 15 points, 4-7 from the field. Matt Hebert gets Dodge and Odom back into the game. So each side trades blows, and CMU up by 14. Odom. Back to Thompson. A nice feed. Gay sends it away. And then we'll tie it up. The possession arrow still favors Hesston. Rafael Gay averaging a little over 1 block a game. And thus far tonight, 18 points, 8 rebounds for him. 17 points now for Ogene. Six on the shot clock. And Kevin James able to hold his ground against Thompson. Now 5 on the shot clock. They've hit the under 10 timeout. CMU up by 15. Step aside on the Heart Conference Network.
Before the lights, there's the grind. Every hour, every hit, every moment carved in sweat and sacrifice. Now, it's your stage. From grind to glory, 516 Sports Capital builds the stage for your story.
CMU up by 15. Under 10 minutes to go. Off the inbound, batted. Stays with Hesston. Now 4 on the shot clock. Batted out of bounds again. 1 more second elapses, so 3 on the shot clock for the Larks. Dodge just gets it off. Offensive rebound at Thompson. Harris drains it. Best performances for Hesston from downtown this year. It's a 12-point ball game. And they are shooting 50% from 3. 10 of 20. Bonaparte, James. I want a screen from Gay. Good hedge, but there is Gay. And he puts it up and in. Unstoppable tonight. 20 points for Raphael Gay. And a miss on the reverse for Dante Smith. Ogene open from deep. And he left it short, but Raphael Gay is there to clean it up. That is now the 7th 20-plus point performance for Raphael Gay.
Dante Smith, that's his 4th personal foul, team's 4th. Raphael Gay to the line, 2 shots.
Took a little bit to begin the year for him to really carve out his physicality and his leading role here on this team. But, man, since conference play has hit, he has been sensational. Two points for Raphael. A 16-point lead for Central Methodist on their home floor. Odom slipped out of his hands. Hand off Thompson. Pump fake. Step back. Harris short. CMU not doing a good enough job right now cleaning up the misses. Ogene off the screen, rattles out. And Jabari Jolly races across the timeline and then will pull it out. Floater, good for Brennan Dodge. Up to 14 points for Dodge, and Hesston has had a lot of success with the float game today. James, jump stop off the window, and good. 14-point lead for CMU. Errant pass intercepted by Gay. Bonaparte off the window miss, but there is Raphael Gay for 24 points. And that is another double-double for Raphael Gay, his 6th of the season. And he's had 6 double-doubles in the last 7 games. he's working towards another Player of the Week nod in the art. And that's 3 for Odom. I mean, Hesston has been spectacular from distance tonight. Really a breakout performance for them in that department. But there's Raphael Gay, ripped away though. Brennan Dodge got his paws in there. On the break, Jolly. Back out Odom. And not enough competitiveness for CMU on the closeout in transition, and the deficit cut to 10 for Hesston with 6:37 remaining in this one. Antonio Odom up to 22 points, and he's 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. And right now, Hesston is doing a good job of trading 2s for 3s tonight. 12 for Hesston from distance. CMU just 3 of 15 themselves. We'll step aside for a break on the Heart Conference Network.
For the 45, cuts across midfield, up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle, he's to the 20, to the 10, he is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Field caught down the line, and it's in a line drive right down the line, running catch by Jolly. Finds Henry, turns, shoots, hits it from the corner, the fading 3.
6:33 remaining in this one. CMU up by 10, but Hesston has just hung around as this game has progressed, making 12 threes. 22 points for Antonio Odom. Bonaparte sidestep. His triple is short, and now CMU 3 of 16 from beyond the arc tonight. Eurostep Thompson, and he goes to the line. It's been a little bit of a sleepy game tonight. CMU has left some things to be desired in the rebounding department as of the last few minutes, and not being competitive on some of these closeouts. Isaiah Reams checks in for Bonaparte. And Trent Thompson makes it an 8-point game. He's got 7 points, I should say. Odom with 22, Dodge 14, Harris with 13 for the Larks. Raphael Gay with 24, Ogeni with 17, and Reams with 12. Prater from deep. Off the mark, but there is Reams, and he's fouled. It's amazing to watch Isaiah Reams just find his way for the miss. The senior is 6 foot tall, and he has picked up his 6th rebound of the game, his 3rd on the offensive end. And Reams up to 13 points. We're hopeful today for CMU they could find somebody out of their top 3 options to really have a breakout performance, but Tommy Williams 2 of 11 from the field tonight. Kevin James is 3 of 3, and that's why part of the reason why he's still out there right now. But wow, Hesston College has caught fire in this game. Another 3, that one made by Dodge. He's got 17 points, and it's a 7-point ball game. I mean, Hesston has just stayed in this game with the 3 ball. Reams, though, is wide open, and he rattles it home. And that's been the issue tonight for Hesston. It's not been on the offensive end. It has been their inability to pick up stops consistently. Dodge pump fake, fly by 3. And that one rattles out. The most threes made in a game this year for Hesston was 20 against Manhattan Christian. They had made 18 against Mid-America Christian. Very much a Jekyll and Hyde team from beyond the arc. And we'll get back to that after the break. Under 5 timeout, 10-point lead for CMU.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student-athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of support and mentorship. But what truly sets us apart is the heart with which we play. Join us and experience the passion, the drive, and the spirit of champions. That passion and commitment extends off the playing field and into graduation. The Heart of America Athletic Conference, champions in competition, leaders in life.
Welcome back to Fayette. 10-point lead for CMU. 4:47 to go. As we were talking about, really a Jekyll and Hyde complex for Hesston this year from 3. And They have brought their A game in that department here tonight. Beg your pardon, the last foul. Raphael Gay was fouled on the rebound. And so CMU will inbound and miss. Bump and a foul on Kevin James. 16 fouls right now for Hesston, 3 for Central Methodist.
Eagles foul charge number 11, Kevin James, is third, team's third.
Jolly. Crossover and Raphael Gay, a beautiful move. It's an 8-point game again. CMU simply unable to separate enough tonight to really put this game out of reach. Reams, nice jab step. Ogene back to Reams with the switch on Smith. Jab step, triple, air ball. James saved it, but not to an eagle. And Hesston continues to have an opportunity to make this a real game down the stretch. Jolly, kick out. Harris back to Jolly. Pump fake. And he splits through, missed it, and there is Smith, but he missed the layup. And that's a big break for Central Methodist. Raphael Gay splits through, and he's fouled. And he came down hard on that right hip.
Eagles foul charge number 11, Kevin James. Correction, Larks foul charge number 11, Antonio Odo is third.
Third personal on Antonio Odom. And the first one falls for Raphael Gay.
Raphael Gay on the line, 7 of 2.
25 points, 12 boards for Gay. And credit to him, he is now 6 of 6 from the stripe. And CMU as a team, now 22 of 26. Now 23 of 27, I should say. So they have made an improvement in that department the last 2 games as Harris turns it over, and as soon as it looked like Hesston was going to make a run, Raphael Gay able to put some points in for CMU, and a turnover gives an opportunity to extend this double-digit advantage. Reams races around the corner and off the window, it's good. Not the matchup the Larks want on Reams, and that's 19 points for the senior out of Mexico, Missouri. Harris spins against James, off the heel and missed. Kind of the story of the game, emblematic. Hesston cuts the deficit to single digits, 8, and at that moment it was as little as 6. But CMU up by 12, they turn it over, and Antonio Odom moves it up top to Jolly. Deliberate head fake. Kick out to Dodge, and this one's too strong. Offensive rebound to Harris. Jolly really accentuates that head fake. Harris sets his feet. Line drive miss. Tapped, loose ball, ricochets. Gay on the floor. Tapped around. Ogene hauls it in for the Reams. And he delivers it to Ogene. To James on the backside, and he's fouled. Bit of a chaotic sequence, and looks like Raphael Gay hit his funny bone on the floor.
Larks foul charge number 24, Bryson Harris, his second, team's 8th.
8th team foul on the Larks, and Kevin James to the stripe. With 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Both sides still shooting 50% or better from the field. Timeout taken by Matt Hebert. We'll step aside on the Hard Conference Network.
45, cuts across midfield, up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle. He's to the 20, to the 10. He is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Still caught down the line, and it's a line drive right down the line. Running catch by Jolly. Henry turns, shoots, hits it from the corner. The fading three.
Point lead for Central Methodist, 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this one. CMU won the first half 44-36. Right now they're just winning the second half by 5, 44-39. Really competitive effort by the Larks tonight. You know, as we had mentioned, they have played some teams close this year. They're not getting blown out in every game. And they certainly brought the 3 ball tonight. 13 of 26. And CMU just 4 of 19 themselves from distance. And James misses the free throw, tapped, and it's off of Odom. Apparently, it's CMU possession. So, James misses the front end of that bonus free throw. But CMU keeps possession. The timer for Reeves. Between the leg, dancing crossover, out to Prater. High arcer missed. And a foul on the rebound as Jolly tried to hold off Raphael Gay.
Larks foul charge to number 4, Jabari Jolly. His second, team's 9.
So Raphael Gay back to the stripe.
1-1.
And the Hart Offensive Player of the Week has a chance to put in a couple more. Front end is good. That is 3 straight games of 28 points for Raphael Gay, and he's still perfect at the line. We knew it could be a mismatch coming into tonight, and that has certainly been the case. Credit Jabari Jolly for staying persistent on that rebound. And it's a baker's dozen lead for CMU. And there is Raphael Gay, and 1. And another 30-point performance for Raphael Gay, his second of the year. They just have not had an answer for the senior out of France. After a season at Clarendon and Southeastern Community College, and then Cal State Los Angeles has found his home here in Fayette, and that's 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 of 8 at the foul line for Raphael Gay. Jolly, whoa. Yes, the bank is still open. 6:44 on a Tuesday night. And timeout taken by Matt Sherman. 13-point lead, minute 6 remaining. We'll keep it with you here on the Hart Conference Network. Again, the Eagles, for them tonight, their last game of the calendar year. After the break, they'll be on the road to face Grandview in Des Moines. The Vikings look to play for another national championship in football to defend their title after they defeated Benedictine in the snow this past Saturday. The Eagles will be back at home on the 7th against William Woods, their first conference game against the Owls ever. And then they'll be at Graceland on the 10th for maybe their most difficult game of the regular season, maybe their most difficult stretch. At Graceland, at Mo Baptist, at Peru State, or versus Peru State. However, for the Bobcats, it's been a disappointing start to the year. 7-7 overall, 3-4 in conference play, towards the bottom of the Hart Conference standings. Reams splits through, and he's fouled by Dante Smith. And he has fouled out. So Reams with 19 points, chance for another 20-point performance for Reams. Both him and Raphael Gay towards the top of the Hart in scoring. Devin Davenport right now at the top. DeMarco Clayton behind him. Clayton had 29 points, 10 rebounds, but he did turn over 6 times for Clark in the loss to CMU, 97-80. Nobody else on that Pride team had more than 11.6 rebounds. So it's really all DeMarco Clayton this year for the Pride. Jabari Jolly with a free run of the bucket. I don't think Matt Sherman's going to be super happy about that or this finish to this game. You know, CMU did enough to win tonight, but they left some meat on the bone. Credit to Hesston. They knocked down their threes. And that kept them within reach. I mean, it was a 6-point lead at the late stages of this ball game, and it was just enough from the Eagles to get over the top. Ogene, charging foul. Some good things we've seen this first semester for CMU, but obviously when you lose 4 games, things to work on. They haven't done a great job at closing out games at home. Jolly puts it in off the window and good. 11-point lead. And another turnover. Just a very lackadaisical finish to this game for CMU. But Raphael Gay does pick up another rebound. James, Raphael Gay punctuates this win. 33 points for Raphael Gay, 15 rebounds, 12 of 14 from the field, missed just 2 shots. 9 of 9 from the foul line. So a win by a baker's dozen for CMU, 97-84 here in Fayette. And they close out this semester 4-2 at home, with wins at home against John Brown, Mid-America Nazarene, William Penn, and Hesston, with losses to Columbia and Mo Valley. Started to find an identity this year, somewhat similar to last year, but I think this is still a team looking to really find their full potential and their full force. We'll see if we get Matt Sherman up here for post-game interview. And again, this team won't be back in action until January 3rd at Grandview. Looks like we will get Matt Sherman up here for a little post-game talk after his team wins tonight over Hesston, 97-84. got Matt Sherman here for a post-game conversation. CMU 97, Hesston 84. Coach, a lot to get to here, but start at the top with Raphael Gay, 33 points, 15 rebounds. We knew it was going to be a mismatch coming in, and he did his work, and that's 3 straight games for him of 28 or more points. He's using his size to his advantage, and he's showing great touch around the rim.
Yeah, he is. If he just keeps it simple, it's pretty easy for him to do the things he needs to do, especially against smaller opponents. He probably could have had even more tonight. I don't think he was always putting himself in the right spots. It's hard to, if I want to nitpick, in all honesty, he should have had 40 points tonight, playing that many minutes. But yeah, he was probably our brightest star tonight for sure. And he's had a really good semester for us. A couple Player of the Week honors for him, and I'm glad he's had that because he's put in the work for it and embracing the role that he has for us.
Hesston shot well from distance tonight, 14 to 27. CMU that didn't really have their best game as far as that. But when you talk about your goals coming into this game versus kind of how the game progressed, they were within 6 at one moment. You're able to kind of stiff arm them at the very end, but still, positive and negatives to take from this game for sure.
Yeah, we're not a good outside shooting team, and our guys that are supposed to be outside shooters just aren't hitting right now. We're getting some decent looks, but we've got some guys taking some bad shots that are trying to be shooters, or not shooters, scorers, and that was kind of hurting our rhythm there for a little bit. I'm not happy with how we finished the game. We kind of just stopped playing defense there the last minute and a half and made this score look a little better than it should have been. But I don't think Hesston could really stop what we were doing offensively when we wanted to attack under control and do the things that we wanted to do. We didn't think this was going to be a game where we needed to run a lot of sets and stuff. But the one thing Hesston can do is, if you give them open shots, they're going to hit it. And we just, we thought we could close out at 18 feet, and you can't do that against college basketball players. Teams don't do that to us. I don't know why we think that we can do that to them. So they did, and they took advantage of it, and they knocked down outside shots. So guys want to look surprised when people hit shots on them, and when you give them open shots, that's what your teams are going to do. So hats off to them for coming here and give us in a game and making us play all 40 minutes.
And now looking at the outlook for the rest of the year, in all your losses this year, you've scored below 80, and then of course the rest of them have been wins. If your team wants to see full potential, we've had this conversation in multiple instances. You got to find ways to win those defensive matchups, and you'll have those the rest of the way. Graceland has won 10 games in a row. Missouri Baptist is 5-1 in conference play. They've only lost 1 game this year. You'll have them in a back-to-back stretch, but you can't look too far ahead, obviously, from night to night. It's just your overall outlook for how you want to see this team realize their full potential in the second semester.
Yeah, if you stay on the offensive end, 3 of our 4 losses, we were under 40%, and the one loss that we weren't, we were at 41% from the field, and that was against Bethel. And we were actually winning, I think, 34, 35 minutes of that game, and they just kind of wore us out at the end. Bethel's a really good team. And so those other 3 games, we shot under 40% from the field, and that's not us. All these other games we've been at the very minimum mid-40s, if not shooting in the 50s for the field goal percentage. There hasn't been a true consistency with our defense. We've won some games given up, high 70s, even 80s, because we've been able to score in the 90s or above. We've got some goals with our deflections and our kills, which are 3 stops in a row. And how many stops we won overall. But all that's based on how many possessions you have in a game. So sometimes you may give up 75, 80 points in a game, but if you're pushing 80 possessions, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That might be better than a team that only gave up 68 points a game that had 5 possessions. So it just depends what the pace is. So I do think we need to play at a faster pace, but we're not very deep right now. Our bench at times isn't the most productive. I thought they played well in spurts tonight. But we've got to be consistent with that, and we've got to find the right lineups together, offensively and defensively. And right now we have some guys that are playing really good defensively, and then some guys that are playing really good offensively. And we got to put both sides of the court together. And so right now we're halfway through the regular season. We're 14 games in, and it gives us a good idea of kind of what we look at or what we look like. And the guys can't argue with their stats and stuff like that right now. I mean, we got some guys that need to get in the gym and get some shots up, and we need to get better at running our offense and our defense. Tonight I thought was very poor with getting off to the ball and help side and stuff like that. I just didn't think we finished possessions very well. Just things that we have to get better at, and I think everybody was just a little ready for break and kind of looking ahead, which sometimes that can happen with this game. So we'll take the win and get ready for Christmas break here and kind of regroup. And like I said, it's all conference games from here on out, and I don't really think there's any easy ones, that's for sure.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to your team, and we'll see you in the next season.
Yep, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Head coach Matt Sherman. Final score, CMU 97, Hesston 84. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Hart Conference Network. We hope that you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm Aaron Mosier signing off. We'll see you next time.